Namaste, namaste, and welcome to Monday morning chair yoga. And today we are going to look at things for strengthening the legs. In fact, we are going to need a belt or a strap or some kind of length. This is for the arms, and we will do that just as a little balance to our leg action. And I have got my feet up on blocks today. We're going to need one to use to move our legs over. So anything that is about a block height, it could be a stack of books, anything that works for you. It could be a water bottle, something that you can lift up and over. But to begin, let us come into sitting on our chairs. We're going to be sitting towards the front of the seat so that you can sit nice and tall. Establish your hands wherever is comfortable for you, and then closing your eyes or gazing gently downward as you prefer. Take a moment to arrive in your yoga space. Step away from everything else that's going on around you. And notice how you feel in this moment. Notice the sensations in your body. And perhaps it's the sensations of discomfort or stiffness or closedness that are most focal. So try to listen for at least one part of the body that feels peaceful and quiet and at ease. Notice your breath in this moment. In noticing your breath, see if you can naturally find a slightly slower, softer rhythm of breath. Let us begin to draw prana in for our practice by breathing a bit more deeply, breathing deeply into the sides of the body, the back, the chest. As you breathe out, soft and slow, just engaging across the navel to breathe out completely. Soft across the belly to breathe in deeply to the rib cage, the collarbones, the shoulder blades. Breathing out long and slow, engaging across your navel, drawing the navel in towards the spine to breathe out completely. Soft in the belly to breathe deeply in, fill the lungs. And breathing out long and slow, engaging across the navel to breathe out fully. A few more deep breaths like this in your own time. At the end of your next exhalation, allowing your breath to find its natural rhythm and fall away into quietness. We're going to bring the palms together at the center of the chest, lift the chest, take the chin towards the chest, just feeling that gentle length. And then with a soft smile, when you're ready, raising your head, opening your eyes, relaxing your arms down. Very good. Welcome, welcome. Okay, let us just begin with a few shoulder rolls. I'm going to do a few shoulder rolls in this direction and then reverse, a few shoulder rolls in the opposite direction as well. And then we're going to take the hands nice and wide, take the left hand to the right thigh, the right hand behind, and just gently move into a little twist. So we're not forcing, it's just the first twist of the day. When you get there, turn your head to look over the left shoulder and just breathe for a moment here. Soften your shoulders down. Maybe establish a gentle lift through the belly muscles. If you'd like to, you can lift your chin so you get a sense of length down the right side of the neck, keeping the mouth gently closed. And then when you're ready, bringing your head back to center and just unwinding your spine, turning a little to the opposite side and back to the middle. Roll the shoulders a few times in each direction. And then sitting tall, taking the right hand to the left thigh, the left hand behind, just gently moving the shoulders a touch into a twist, not much. We're going to turn the head to look over the right shoulder, shoulders nice and relaxed, holding here to begin with. This might be enough. But if you would like a little bit more, you can lift your chin, keeping the mouth gently closed, feeling that length down the left side of the neck. When you're ready, you can bring your head back to center, release your hands, turn a little to the opposite side, back to the center, just rolling the shoulders a few times backwards and forwards. Very nice. We're going to take our feet nice and wide now. Make sure you've got enough of your body centered on your chair that you feel supported, lifting with the belly muscles, and we're gently going to stir the body around in a circle. So as if you've got a pencil from the crown of your head, drawing a circle on the ceiling, and just using the legs, using your belly muscles a touch to find that nice circling motion. When you're ready, going in the opposite direction. And the forward part, I think, is always easier than the backward part. But doing what you can, trying to avoid keeping your neck rigid, just allowing your head to naturally move with the movement of the spine. When you're ready, coming back to the center, we're just gently going to do a little bit of side bending here, so the feet still nice and established on the floor, nice lift in the belly. We can slide our hands down the legs of the chair, if they're handy, just going from side to side. Little gentle movements. We're not aiming to get very far. This is our first foray of the day into these movements. And then when you have been doing it a few times to each side, you can raise the opposite arm up and over, still keeping your feet very strong and solid into the ground. Just finding a little bit more space down the sides of the body. Let's do one more to each side. And then come back to an upright position, just rolling the shoulders one more time. You can bring the feet back onto the blocks if you're using blocks, or back to the center if you're not. So taking your belt, your belt of establishedness, we want to create enough width of the belt that we feel like we're holding an enormous beach ball. So the shoulders have lots of room to move. Now I've doubled my belt over because when I do this, I always end up getting hit in the head by the buckle. Excuse me, but you might prefer the belt to be a bit longer, or you might prefer to use a scarf, which is softer, doesn't have a buckle on it. So the arms are nice and wide. We're going to press into the feet to sit tall and really establish ourselves here in the center. You can rock the pelvis backwards and forwards a few times until you find that you've got the legs switched on and the belly switched on. We're raising the arms up, and we're going to lift the shoulders up to begin with, and then bring the shoulders down. So just shoulders up, shoulders down, shoulders up, shoulders down. Let's do one more. Shoulders up, shoulders down. Very nice. Here with the arms up, just see if you've got a little bit more space to move the hands behind the body, and then we'll move them all the way down to the sides. You can relax your shoulders. All the way up, pressing into the feet, firming the belly, seeing if you can take the arms a little bit further back and then all the way down. Let's do 2 more like this. Reaching up, opening the front of the body, switching on the core muscles and reaching down. This time when we come up, we're going to stay up in the most open position that feels good to you. And here, a gentle side bend. So a little bend to one side and then the other. Still pressing into the feet, still nice and lifted in the belly muscles, drawing the shoulders down as much as possible. Let's do 1 more to each side. Very good. Coming back to the center and then drawing your arms all the way down in front, just giving your shoulders a gentle roll. We're going to come back to that arm lengthened position. We're going to reach the arms up, and this time we're going to twist to the right. So as we twist, we're keeping the arms up to begin with, and then come back to the center and then twisting to the left. And back to the center, still pressing into the feet, still firm in the belly as we twist from one side to the other. Very good. Let's do 1 more to each side. Twisting to the right, and then gently twisting to the left. And then relaxing the arms all the way down. It becomes quite hard work for the arms otherwise. Rolling the shoulders a little bit backwards and forwards. Excellent. And then let's do 1 more set of twisting. We're going to reach the arms forward and up. And this time, as we twist to the right, we're going to bring the arms down on the right side. And then twist up to the center, arms up, twisting to the left, and arms down on the left side. Let's do this 2 more times in each direction. Twist through the center, and as we twist to the right, the arms come down. Reaching the arms up as we twist through the center, twisting to the left, arms come down on the left. 1 more time each side. Nice gentle lift through the belly throughout. Nice and strong in the arms. Very good. And then when you're ready, coming back to the center and just relaxing the arms all the way down in front. Relax the hands from the belt or whatever you're holding so that you can give them a little shake out of the hands and maybe a roll of the wrists. Just to release any tension there. Very good. Let's go the opposite way as well. And then just placing the belt to one side for now, we're going to bring our focus to the lower part of the body. So here I've got 2 blocks, but I'm just going to get rid of one because I don't need both. And at the moment, I'm just going to hold on to my block so that my feet are on the floor and they're about the width of the chair apart. And I'm just going to let my knees sway one side and then the other. If this doesn't feel comfortable, it's okay not to do it. Just a little sway if it feels good to you. If that doesn't feel so good, you can turn yourself. I'm just turning sideways so that you can see. We can lengthen the legs and roll through the ankles so we get a little bit of rolling through the thigh bones and the hip sockets. Rolling in both directions. And then when you're ready, coming back to the center, and we're going to bring the feet towards each other by taking the heels in, toes in, heels in, and then the feet apart, heels out, toes out, heels out, toes out. You can go as wide as feels comfortable before coming back the way as well. So pivoting heels and toes in and out, just using the range that is comfortable for your body. And maybe going also in the same direction with both feet at the same time. You might need to turn on your chair a little. That's quite a nice thing to do as well. There we are. We'll go 1 more time in this direction and then step the feet back to center. here, I'm going to take my right knee and point it a little bit to the right. And I want to find a width between my legs, between my knees that feels good. And then on the ball, on the toe of my left foot, I'm going to let my left knee come in and then let my left knee move out again. So I'm right up on my tiptoe, left knee comes in, left knee moves out. What I'm doing here is I'm creating a inward and outward rotation of the hip. So just moving in a way that feels good to you, not pushing or forcing. Let's do one more on this side. Very good. Then we can shift our focus so that we've got our left leg nice and supportive, right toes on the floor, right knee can come into the center line of the body and then move out as well. So we're just rotating the knee inwards, rotating the knee outwards, finding that inward rotation that really activates the outside of the thigh. Let's do 2 more of these. Very good. So hip mobility is something that's really important to keep and establish and maintain as much as possible through our lives in general. So having done these movements in and out, I'm going to look at a different kind of movement of the hip. So I'm going to take my block to the outside of my left foot. And here I'm sitting really tall. I'm going to lift my left foot up over the block and down, up over the block and back to center. So sitting here, it's quite important to press the right foot into the floor, lift the belly. We're lifting up, over and down, up, over and back to center. So we've done 2, we're going to do 3 more. So we do 5 in total. Just notice how you feel in your hip flexors here. That's what we're trying to strengthen, those muscles that help to move the thigh up towards the torso. Very nice. And then when we've done it on that side, we can move the block to the outside of the right foot. Same thing again, pressing the left foot into the floor, lifting up, over the block and down, up, over the block and back to center. Apologies, it seems that some of my elephants upstairs are doing some funny works. Who knows? I think we've got, let's see, maybe 1 more after this one. I can't remember. We'll do 1 more for luck anyway. So up, over and down, up, over and back to center. Very nice. And having done that, we're going to just lengthen the legs in front and again do that soft knee ankle turning, circling, and the opposite way as well, which helps to release a little bit of tension, hopefully from those hip flexors. And then here, we are going to come back to using that block. We're going to turn on our seats so that our feet are pointing to the right, and then lengthen the left leg back to wherever is comfortable. So here, my right thigh is a little bit supported by the seat, but my left buttock and thigh are pretty much off the seat. You can hold onto your chair back for support here if it feels good, and you don't need to have your leg very far back, but if you're able to create a little bit of length here in those hip flexors that we've just used, then that is useful. Here we want to tuck the tailbone under slightly, feel the lift in the belly, and let us just do some nice big circles with the left arm. So left foot is back, left arm is going to circle. Lovely job. Maybe 3 times. And then we're going to slide the left knee forward and then bring ourselves round back to the center. Maybe roll the shoulders a couple of times in each direction. And then we're going to do the other side. So we're turning ourselves to the right, to the left even, leaving the left foot on the floor and sliding the right leg back again. Right leg back behind us to create a little bit of openness, if we can, across the hip flexors of that leg. Holding onto your chair back for a bit of support, little tuck under of the tailbone and lift in the belly muscles. And then using that outside right arm to make some big circles around the body. And we're going to aim for 3 of those big circles. Last one. Very good. We're going to slide that right knee forward and then just paddle our way back to the center. And here, do one last exercise sitting down. We're going to place the block in front of us so that if I extend my legs, then the block is on the outside of my left foot, but my legs are nice and long and straight. I can hold onto the sides of my seat to lift the belly and sit nice and tall, and then lifting the left leg up and over and up and back. We're going to do this 5 times on each side. So the leg nice and long and straight, as much straight as possible, without forcing or straining. 2 more. And just finding that nice control as well. Very good. When you've done 5 on that side, bending the knees for a moment, leaning forward enough to place the block down on the opposite side, and then extending the legs again, and then pressing into the hands, just rolling the shoulder blades towards each other, lifting the belly muscles, lifting the right leg up and over, up and back. Very good. Nice and long and straight in the legs. Both legs long and straight is useful here. If you find it's too difficult with both legs long and straight, you can bend the opposite knee just to create a little bit of stability. But if you're able to do it without, that's great. We'll do 1 more because I've lost count again. Very good. And then bending both knees and just giving yourself a little moment in the center to come back to this more neutral shape in the body. Very good. Okay, so here we're going to come into standing, but we're going to do our sit to stand. And this is, we're about to do a little exercise with the wall, but if you find your sit to stand is more comfortable than the exercise with the wall, you can continue to do that. So a little firm in the belly, feet underneath the knees. We're reaching the hands forward to float the bottom off the chair, and then gently reaching the seat back to the seat. Reaching forward just to float for a moment, and then reaching back. Just making sure you've got enough of your buttocks on the seat that you feel nice and stable. So you rock your weight onto your feet and then back into your sitting bones, up onto your feet, back into your sitting bones. This time we're going to rock forward and hold, and then from here press into the legs to stand all the way tall, reach the arms around the body and down to the sides. And hopefully that feels good to be standing upright, to be lengthening out this part of the body that has been a little bit closed. And we're going to move our chairs. So I'm just going to take my blocks onto my chair. Move the chairs enough that we have space to do a little Kati Chakrasana. So we want to release some of the effort that we've made here in the body across the low belly muscles and the hips as well. We'll start with nice soft knees and just gently twisting from side to side. And as we twist, drawing the belly muscles inwards and upwards, having that lift even through the crown of the head. Excuse me, just a residual cough from the cold I had last week. If it feels comfortable, you can resist the movement with your hips and see if you can establish perhaps a little bit more effort in the upper back to make that twist if it feels good. Get a little stretch and release across the functional fascial lines of the body. And then when you're ready, you can free your heels if that feels good. You can pivot on your toes, keeping the arms really loose and heavy. Maybe touching the opposite shoulder in front of you and the opposite hip behind. If you'd like to, you can add a little soft bend in the knees. So you bounce and twist, bounce and twist. And then when you're ready, you can let your bounce go, simply pivot, bring your feet to stillness and sway back to the center, losing your momentum a little at a time. When you come back to standing steady, standing nice and tall, maybe you're rolling the shoulders back and down, turning the palms of the hands forwards, lengthening through the crown of your head, gazing into the distance or closing your eyes, taking a couple of deeper breaths, noticing the feeling of standing steady. When you're ready, just relaxing your posture, opening your eyes again. We are going to use the wall to do a little bit of ski sitting. That's what it was called when I was young. I'm pretty sure it's called chair pose with the wall these days. So we're going to come to leaning against the wall. We want to have the upper body, the back of the shoulders, the back of the head, and the backs of the arms, if you can, all established with good contact with the wall, and the back of the pelvis as well. And then we're just walking the feet a little bit forward and bending the knees. So here we want to press the low back into the wall so that we really activate through the legs, the belly muscles, and the back of the head is established with the wall as well, if possible. So that's what we're hoping for. If you've got one of those spongy balls, the red ones, and you feel like your upper back is quite far away from the wall, you can put that behind your pelvis. It will help to even out any forward folding of your upper back. When you're ready, you can straighten your legs, walk the feet back into the wall, and just take a moment to stand away from the wall. Give yourself a little roll of the shoulders in any direction, a little wiggle of the hips, if that feels good. So with this pose, we're doing effectively what's a chair pose, Utkatasana, but with the wall for support, which means that we can stay in the pose a little bit longer. It's very strengthening for the legs and very good for the core muscles. Excuse me. But if it becomes too much, then doing some sit to stand as an alternative, or holding chair pose is a great alternative. We might do that anyway. Let's do one more of these. So we're establishing the upper body towards the wall as much as possible, stepping the feet out in front of us, and we're pressing the upper body and the back of the pelvis into the wall, bending the knees as deeply as feels comfortable. You can come down as low as feels good to you. So some people might be able to get down low enough to be almost at a right angle with the knees and with the back and the wall. And that's fine. If you feel comfortable here, it's okay to be a little bit higher up. It's all about pressing the back of the pelvis into the wall, really activating the legs. You can maybe even feel how activated the legs are. Relaxing the back of the shoulders, the back of the head towards the wall. And then when you're ready, just pressing the legs nice and straight, walking your feet back towards the wall to stand upright, and then standing away from the wall to give yourself a little bit of a wriggle. Good job. So let us take our chairs to do a little bit of action on these legs that we've just used. So I'm standing with my chair. I'm not right behind my chair. I'm just to one side. And I'm going to focus on standing on the leg closest to the chair so that I can free the opposite leg and just give a little bit of a swing. So again, we've used the hip flexors here at the front of the pelvis. They actually go through the middle of the pelvis, but we feel them at the front of the pelvis. So we're just swinging the legs to release tension from there. And then standing on the opposite leg, just making sure you've got enough room to swing the other leg as well. Standing nice and tall, lifting in the belly. Great work. Very good. Then we're going to come back to standing almost behind our chairs, really, coming right up towards the chair. And we're going to step back with the left leg first. So stepping your left foot back as far as feels comfortable so that you've got a sense of length on this back leg, the front of that thigh, as we bend the front knee. Now, if you can keep your heel on the ground, that's great. If it wants to come with you a little bit, that's okay too, because what we really want to feel here is the openness at the front of the left side of the pelvis. So we're bending that front knee as much as feels comfortable, tucking the tailbone under to establish this long line down the left side of the pelvis. Hold onto your chair with your right hand and with your left arm, making that nice big circle around the body. We'll do 3 of these. Firm in the legs, firm in the belly and the buttocks. Very nice. And then to come out, we want to soften the back knee, maybe peel the heel off the floor, get a little bit of buoyancy between these 2 feet so you can lightly step the left foot forward, and then we're stepping back with the right foot. And again, you don't have to have your right heel down, but if you can, that's great. Lengthening bending into the front knee, tucking the tailbone under, establishing that length down the right side of the pelvis. And with your left hand for support, nice and firm in belly and buttocks, making those big circles around the body with the right hand even. Very good. Let's do 1 more. Nice and strong in the legs. And then with both hands on the chair, nice and soft in the knees, just making the movement across the legs nice and easy so you can step forward with the right foot. And we can just do a tiny march in place or a little wiggle out of the legs if that feels good to you. Aces. So we're coming to, I'm just going to face straight onto you. You can stay where you are, facing onto your chair, using the chair for just a little bit of support so that we can take our left foot out to the left side. We're going to bring the left knee and right knee together, and then we're going to bring the left foot and right ankle together. So left knee and right knee together, left foot and right ankle together. Nice and firm in the belly. Let's do 3 more of these. Knees, ankles or feet, I guess. Knees, ankles or feet. And last one, knees, ankles or feet. Step onto both feet, just observe the difference between the 2 sides of the body, and then the same thing on the other side. If you want to hold on the other side, you can. But if you're happy not, then that's fine. So just beginning by taking the right foot out to the right side, and then bringing the right knee to the left knee in the center, and then the right foot to the left ankle. So the knee points out to the side. So first we turn the knees in, and then we turn the knee out. So 3 more of these, nice and firm in the belly, ankles or feet together, knees together, ankles or feet together. Last time, knees together, ankles or feet together. And then step onto both feet. Just take a moment to feel the effects of that. I feel that quite strongly in my hips, so I'm hoping that you do as well. And we can just give ourselves a few hip circles to ease out any efforts there. Very good. So I said we'd do chair pose proper, and we're going to take our bands or belts that we used earlier to do this as well. So for chair pose, we want to establish ourselves with quite wide feet, but you might prefer to do this sitting down, and that's absolutely fine. Or you might want to explore it doing it against the wall, that's fine too. So relatively wide feet, I'm going to start with my body nice and upright, firm in the belly, and reach the arms forward. And then as I bend my knees, which I want to bend my knees over my feet, I'm going to lift the arms up to wherever feels comfortable. So here, we don't want to fold ourselves forward from the hips. We want to keep nice and upright, tucking the tailbone under ever so slightly, perhaps drawing the shoulder blades back towards each other to open up the chest as much as possible. And you can have your arms a lot wider if that helps here as well. When you get into your chair pose, you can give yourself a little wriggle, tuck the tailbone under, tuck the tailbone out, just a few times, pelvic tilting here, just to establish where feels like the in-between of those two positions. And then to release out, straighten your legs and lower your arms down to your side. Give yourself a little roll through the shoulders. And we'll do that one more time with the feet a little bit closer together if possible. So if you need the wider stance, keep the wider stance, no problem at all. If you can do it with the feet a little bit closer together, that's great. What we want to aim to do is not bring the knees together. So when we're practicing with the bending the knees bend directly over the feet. They don't fall together, they don't fall apart, they're just right over the feet. Fantastic stuff. So this time we're going to stand tall to begin. Nice lift in the belly, lift into the crown of the head, reach the arms forward to about chest height, and then as you bend your knees, you can lift the arms up to wherever feels good. We're trying to establish our weight into the heels, and then we can do that little pelvic tilting backwards and forwards a couple of times to find neutral, the point between the two extremes. And then settle the shoulders down, open your chest, lift in your belly, soften your gaze, take a few deep breaths. When you're ready to release out, you can lengthen the legs, draw the arms back down to the side. Just release your belt wherever feels good. Roll your shoulders. Give your legs a little bit of a shake if that feels good. Awesome sauce. So our final posture, I think, before we wind ourselves back down into a seated pose, is going to be the flying angel. And the flying angel we can do with the chair or with the wall. Either is good. So I'll maybe show you with the chair on one side and with the wall on the other, and you can decide what you most prefer. So we're going to start with a hand that's close. So I've got my right hand on the chair. I'm going to stand on my right leg and take my left foot back so that I've got this nice open length down the left side of the body. And then I'm taking my left arm up to wherever is comfortable. A little bit out to the side is quite nice. You can draw the shoulder blades towards each other. I'm going to soften that standing knee. So I don't want to lock it straight. I want it a little bit soft. And then I want to feel a sense of taking off by pressing into the right foot and floating the left foot just a little off the floor. Draw the shoulder blades towards each other. Lift in the belly muscles. Really feel the muscles at the back of the left side of the body, the buttock, the hamstring, the low back, all active and supportive. And then when you're ready, bring the feet together and the arm down by the side. Perfect. So taking a moment to feel the difference between the two sides of the body, I'll do the opposite side with the wall. So with the wall, you can face onto the wall. I don't know if maybe here might be easier to show. So facing the wall, I've got my left hand on the wall in front of me. I'm going to stand onto the left foot and take the right leg backwards And then take the right arm out to wherever is comfortable. It could be more towards the head, could be more out to the side. And then establishing that softness in the left knee, I press into the left foot to float the right foot off the floor, really rolling the shoulder blades down, lifting in the belly muscles, finding activation down the back of the right side of the body, the hamstring, the buttock, the low back, all very active. That space between the shoulder blades as well. Taking a couple of deep breaths. And then when you are ready, you can float the right arm to the side, both feet together, standing onto both feet. Release your support on the wall or whatever else you might be holding on to, and then just do a gentle roll and a gentle wiggle. Before we come to sitting, let us do a downward dog with our chairs. And so for this, hands onto the chair, just walking your feet away from you, nice wide feet, soft knees, lengthen your tailbone back behind you, scoop the belly in. If it's comfortable, you can sway your hips from side to side. That feels good. You might want to lengthen one leg and then the other, getting a bit more of a sway there. You might like to look under one arm and then the other, getting a little bit of a twist through the upper body as well. When you're ready, come to the center, press into the hands, keep lifting in the tailbone, scooping the belly in, soften the knees, and just take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. When you're ready, you can look towards your chair back, walk yourself all the way into upright. Take a moment to come to that upright position and just feel that you're back to a more neutral spot. It allows the body to sort of rebound and feel the effects of the practice. And then to finish, we'll take 3 cleansing breaths. Breathing in, taking the arms around the body and up. Breathing out, drawing the palms together and down through the center of the chest. Breathing in, taking the arms around the body and up. Breathing out, palms down to the center of the chest. Last one, breathing in. Breathing out. And that concludes the movement part of our practice. We'll come back to sitting on our chairs, gather any warm clothing or layers or blankets that you would like to for relaxation. And we'll get ourselves a little bit settled. Oh, excuse me. So I like to wrap my blanket all the way around and then sit back in my chair seat so I keep it in place. And feet on blocks if it feels comfortable to you. And just allowing the back of the chair to be supportive. So as you release your body backwards, you really feel that you're being held and are able to soften just that little bit deeper because of that. Here we can have the hands in any position that feels good, maybe cupped one in front of the other, maybe palms down, chin mudra if you like, whatever works for you. And then taking a moment to close your eyes and just become aware of the effect of our posture work today. So we have worked mostly with the area over the hips, a little bit in the low belly and the low back. So it would be quite normal to feel a bit of effort there in our practice as the result of our practice, but we want to try to release that effort so that when we come out of relaxation, the body just feels a little bit better. So to do this, we'll relax some of the tension from the face by doing lion's face. So squeezing all the muscles of the face in towards the nose, making a tight lemon sucking face. Then eyes open, mouth open, tongue out, exhale. One more time like that, screwing all the muscles of the face in towards the nose, tight lemon sucking face. Then eyes open, mouth open, tongue out, exhale. Close your eyes. Gently turn your head from one side to the other, just a gentle movement through the neck. When you're ready, you can bring your head back to center. Make any adjustments you need to bring your posture into its best alignment. And as the eyes remain gently closed, take a deep breath in and softly sigh out through your mouth. Repeat this 3 more times. A deep breath in, letting all of your effort go. A deep breath in, let your muscles begin to relax. A deep breath in and surrender your weight back and down. Allow your breath to find its natural rhythm and fall into quietness. Take your awareness into the back of the body. Feel all the parts of the back of your body in contact with something. Perhaps the backs of the shoulders, shoulder blades, parts of the back, the buttocks, the thighs, the soles of the feet. Experience the sensation of contact between your body and the support of the chair or the floor. Move your awareness to all the parts of the back of the body that have no contact, the back of the head, the neck, perhaps parts of the back, the backs of the knees, the calves, the Achilles, the insteps of the feet. Experience the sensation of space between your body and that support of the chair and the floor. Allow the whole of the back of the body to feel heavy, to let go, to soften back, soften down. Draw your awareness to the front of your body. Become aware of the space over you and around you. Feel the touch of air on your face. Feel the weight and the warmth of the blanket or your extra layers. Feel the sensation of contact between your hands and your body. Move your awareness to your breath, gently deepening your breath. As you breathe in, drawing in light, vitality, harmony. As you breathe out, letting go of tension, fatigue, and discomfort. Breathing in light, energy, harmony. Breathing out tension, fatigue, discomfort. Allow your breath to fall in this rhythm whenever you're aware of it, softening into relaxation a little deeper with every exhalation. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back to your hands and your feet, moving your fingers, your toes, maybe rolling your wrists. When you feel ready, take a deep breath in and stretch the body in any way that feels good. Really yawning. Just stretch out your face. Maybe you're doing a little gentle bend to one side and then the other. If that feels good. And when you're ready, you can bring your palms together towards the center of the chest. Keep your chest lifted, chin towards chest. With that gentle length down the back of the neck, smiling to yourself. And when you're ready, raising your head and opening your eyes. I hope that you've enjoyed this practice today, and I hope you feel good in your hips and legs as a result, nice and strong. And I will look forward to seeing you for another practice again soon. Namaste.